everybody, this is Caitlin here and welcome to today's video. Today's video is actually going to be sort of like kind of review slash kind of first impression slash general look about of an item that I picked up a little while ago, if you remember, way back from my MCM Glasgow vlogs, whatever. I managed to pick up this very heavy Persona 5 Design Works book, which is actually the Japanese version, because obviously there's two versions of this book. There's the Japanese one, which is the original one and whatnot, and I believe there is the English edition of this, which has been delayed like maybe 2 or 3 times now, so apparently it might not be coming out until the end of this year or the start of next year, depending. But I've heard like a couple of different people saying things about the differences between this one and the English one. I think people were saying that the English one is missing like a couple of pages, or like they've taken out some of the pages for the English one. I wonder if maybe the pages that they're taking out are spoiler ones, because this book, I've like been reading through it, whatever, because I love art books for video games, especially Design Works, where you can see all the concept art for characters and whatnot, and all the things that maybe they omitted, some stuff they kind of tweaked and redesigned and everything like that. So I'm not quite sure what exactly they've taken out of the English version. I would assume, because you know the way Atlas works and whatnot, I would assume the English version would take out any of the really spoilery bits of concept art, because there are technically spoilers within this book, and I'm going to try my best and not show you any of the spoilers, because I know it's been like roughly like near about well, Japan have had the game longer Japan have had Persona 5 longer than us in the West, so obviously we got this way back in April, I believe. I've completed the game like a number of times now, and I've watched various other YouTubers and Let's Play channels playing through this game because I adore it. I'm obsessed with it. I adore the Persona series, and Persona 5 is just a beautiful game. So I thought I might as well review this, show you guys some of what's in it. I won't be showing you the entire book, because obviously if you can see here, this is a very, very thick book and whatnot, so I won't be able to show you everything in it, and I will be avoiding any of the kind of spoilery content and whatnot that's inside it, because there are some spoilers which I was a little bit surprised at, but I'm thinking maybe this book is more aimed towards people who have completed the game and whatnot and are really interested in how the character designs came about and everything like that. And it is honestly hard to hold this book with one hand, because it is actually really heavy. Like this is the front here, obviously it's in Japanese, the little design, but and this is the back of it, which really gives an impression of like a graphic novel or like a comic book design and whatnot, with like the different panels and the art style and like the colours and everything. So I'm really hoping that when the full on, because they said that they were making a full anime series of this, not just the OVA Daybreaker special and whatnot, so there is going to be a full length anime of this. Hopefully it will cover the entire game, similar to how the Persona 4 anime covered it, and we won't just get like a stupid like half-assed version of it, because this game deserves so much love and attention. So I'm going to go through a couple of like my favourite pages, the ones that are not spoiler anyway, go through a couple of my favourite pages and give you like a little glimpse, a little idea of what is inside this book, and give you guys my thoughts about it and everything. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoy seeing a couple of the things in this book and giving you an idea of maybe what's in the Japanese version as opposed to the English version. Obviously the English version maybe have some of the interviews and whatnot, or the concept notes translated properly, and obviously since it's a Japanese version, it is mainly all in Japanese. There's like 1 or 2 bits that are actually in English that like tell you what like certain concept pages are about and everything like that. So I hope you enjoy having a little glance at this book with me guys, and give you a little idea of what is to come inside the Persona 5 character design. And here we have the book in question, and as you can see, it is still a pretty thick book, and I won't be showing you, as I said before, everything that's in this book, because I don't want to spoil it for people who still want to get it. As I said before, this is the Japanese version. The English version is slightly different in that it has a different cover, and then the commentary is obviously in English. I believe the Japanese version has a few extra pages. As I said, I can't confirm that myself. I haven't really noticed. I've not compared it to the English one because I don't have the English one yet. But as I said, I'm not going to be showing everything that's inside it. I'm maybe just only going to show a couple of the first pages to do with the characters and such, some of the front pages, whatever, because I don't want to entirely spoil it for you guys, because I still want maybe people who are interested in getting this book to have the chance to see it and whatnot. So we have like an awesome publicity illustration gallery here, some of the promotional material they use, awesome picture of Akira here. Let us start the game with Arsene. He's looking majestic. I'd love to have like some of these as just like posters in my room. We have Akira there looking, well, Joker technically. We have the awesome Wanted poster, Take Your Heart and everything. We've got an awesome shot there of like the main 4 from the beginning of the game for Persona 5. Awesome. This is almost like a painting, almost like for Joker. going on with it. The main image that is used for the front cover of the game, which is pretty awesome. And the little Goro just sitting here looking all mysterious and whatnot. Akira and the Joker rather in the black and white, and some of the more awesome publicity ones. This one in particular I quite like is of Caroline, Justine, and Akira in the Velvet Room, which is very nice. Some artwork in the classroom here, and some of these are just absolutely gorgeous. I love how simple the colors are. It's just like black, red, white, and it's just absolutely amazing how they could capture like Akira / Joker's like character just in simple artwork. I also really love this one. This one is also just really nice, as well as the one obviously with like their masks and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, this is obviously the, like telling you the contents and everything. It's in Japanese, so I can't exactly tell you exactly what everything says here. But the first chapter is focused entirely on the main characters. First off, starting off with Akira, obviously. Now, the thing that I love about Akira is going into it here, obviously showing off his like his finalized designs and his persona Arsene. But you get to have like a little glimpse into like all the kind of rough designs and everything for like in-game sprites or character models and everything like that. And I just love the detail that they went into when designing Akira. So like going into here, some of the characters don't have this, some of them just have like their initial designs and whatnot. Some of them do have concept art, which I think is absolutely amazing. I will show off Joker's concept art once I actually find it because it's awesome. So initially starting off with him, he looked, I don't want to say he looked incredibly different. If I just like pan the camera back a little bit here so you can see the full picture. He didn't look entirely different. Obviously his hair's slicked back here. And he kind of looks interesting. I think he kind of looks a little bit too cocky in this design though. But gradually getting onto it, you could see the kind of like messy, tousle-haired guy that they were thinking of. And this kind of reminds me of, I think his name's Ken from, I think it's Ken from Persona 3. The hair just a little bit reminds me of him there. And obviously this one is really like Harry Potter or something like that, which I guess was the idea that people were going for. And this is how we're steadily getting into more of the Akira that we know and love today. Some like brief little like sketches and whatnot of him running in his little thief attire and everything. And like some little kind of concepts for Arsene, probably trying to finalize his awesome design and whatnot. And then going straight into Ryuji. Ryuji was also a really cool character to look at, just like the way that they designed him and everything. Because I feel like there's not enough pictures of just his full character model and whatnot. I feel like that's the one I always have the hardest time trying to find and everything. But him and Captain Kidd is looking absolutely awesome. I love these little character sprite sheets, especially the one with him wearing the ears. Is just absolutely adorable. I love it. And like they do it for literally all of their expressions as well. They didn't like skimp out or anything. It's like they literally showed you every single expression with every single available model and like for instance the story and whatnot, which I think is really nice. And I adore these like kind of rough sketches of the characters and whatnot. And this is just adorable. Like this one of Ryuji here where he's just like bang, he's like pointing at someone, or it looks like he's kind of shooting at someone rather. But I just absolutely adore it. Just like his like little expression is amazing, and designing like Captain Kidd and everything, and like Skull and all that stuff. And not really spoiler, but this is related to Ryuji somewhat, but since it's in Japanese you can't really tell and whatnot. Will I go through Mona or everything? Like Mona's kind of interesting because obviously Mona's a cat. But it's like, how does one design a cat character? It's like kind of bizarre. I'll try to skip through just his concepts so you can see it and what I'm meaning. Like he went through quite a few changes. I feel like where is it? Is it here? I think it's here. Where like they're going over like different design options for Morgana. Like he initially started off wearing like these goggle things and everything, and you know the transformation from him into like the Mona bus, which is really neat. And obviously looking over his design for Zoro and everything for his persona. All that stuff is like taken into consideration. This is what actually the page that I find really interesting is all these initial designs. This could have been the Morgana that we had, and this is really, really bizarre. Just the spiral eyes look really weird. Like maybe if it wasn't the spiral eyes, might have been a little bit cute, although maybe it looks a bit too, what would be the term, not cartoony or mascot enough. So like not like the kind of slim build or whatever doesn't seem to imply it's more like a mascot character or anything. So I think that's why they went with Mona having a bit of a rounder head and everything. But I really, really like this. Anne's is also really interesting because Anne and her design, obviously she's technically like the foreigner among the main cast and everything. So it's kind of interesting to see how they initially designed her and everything, knowing that she wasn't fully Japanese. But they still wanted to get across that she was kind of like, not exotic, but different. Also, this one of her hair down and not in the pigtails is actually really nice. I really like this picture. and obviously going over the Carmen design and everything, which I'm really glad it showed off like how her design works underneath the big flowery skirt, which is probably awesome for cosplayers to try and get a grip as to how her costume works and everything, which is really, really neat. And is the page here? I'm pretty sure it is here. So like Concept Anne and Concept Panther were really interesting. Originally it seemed she was going to have red hair and her glasses would have been kind of like bubbly goggle thing, kind of similar to Futaba, and she literally had like cat ear and tail. This probably wouldn't have been that good of an outfit for Sealing Hearts, mind you. But originally it seemed like she was actually going to wield a crossbow, which is really interesting, I think. And she was originally going to have like a black kind of catsuit thing, and it looks like she had like a headset that was kind of shaped like cat ears, which is, you know, I think it's a popular thing in Japan and everything. And obviously some concept of Carmen there, like practicing her heroic pose. Yusuke's also a really nice one. I won't go over too much into like going into like his sprites and whatnot, but I really want to try and get to the concept art of him, because his concepts are actually really neat. Like, where is it here? I think it's near the back. Originally, it seems like his concept was that he was going to have longer hair, and he was potentially going to put it into a braid, which I find really interesting. Just like from an artistic standpoint, I guess they might try and make him look a little bit more eccentric and different. But I guess I'm kind of glad they went with the shorter blue hair and everything. I think I prefer that to the longer hair. I'm not sure how much more I want to show this, because I don't want to like spoil the entire book and whatnot, because obviously some people want to read it for themselves. I don't think Makoto had anything really interesting other than the revelation that this thing here in her hair, like this kind of braided bit here, is not part of her hair. It is in actual fact a hairband that is just coloured exactly the same as her hair. So we've all been lied to this whole time. It's not part of her hair. She's not pulling an Elsa or Anna or something like that. That is literally just like a hairband, which I guess is like really, really interesting to look at. And obviously her motorcycle persona and everything, which is really, really cool. I like that. But other than that, I don't think she had too many changes in her design. She seemed pretty simple. They seemed to like get a good grasp of how they wanted Makoto to look just from initial process. Futaba's persona and everything, the big massive Necronomicon and everything. It's certainly a really good book. If you're one who just loves design and everything in terms of video games and concept art, this is certainly the book for you. It is definitely better than, I think it was the Persona 4 not fan works, but like design one. Also, Futaba seemed to have a lot of different designs as well, which is really interesting. I like how like they coloured them in with just black and white. They didn't even like change it too much. Also, this initial outfit, I want this to be DLC for an outfit change for Futaba for the dancing game. I don't know how you do it. Just please implement it, because I think it's a really cute design. And I guess I'll show off Haru as well, because I adore Haru. Haru is like probably one of my favourite characters from the game. I just absolutely adore her. Just look at her fluff! Look at her fluffy hair! It's so precious. Also, I think she was also one of the ones that went through several different designs for like her initial concept and whatnot. Let me just find it. Yeah, she seemed to have like the most amount of like hairstyle changes or like concept changes. Like originally it was like some kind of like bobbed look, and then it kind of gradually grew out into the kind of really floofy hair. And if I can do it here, and then like her persona also seemed to have a couple of changes. Originally it seemed to be wielding a massive machete thing, and there was going to be like a sword coming out of where the head was and everything, and that underneath the dress was going to be like some kind of bear trap and whatnot. So very, very interesting. I probably don't want to go too further with this, because Akechi's next, and I don't want to spoil anything more, because from this point onward there are quite heavy spoilers for certain parts of the game, mainly just to do with like concept stuff and whatever, so I will not go any further there. I'll maybe show off a couple of the random things at the back here, because some of the little set pieces that they randomly designed was cool. These were like also kind of random designs, I think, either for Akira and Makoto or something like that, because this one is obviously I think meant to be Akira. Not sure who this character's meant to be. I feel like Makoto based on the hairstyle. I might be wrong. But this is like all full of like concept art. And I think this one's actually meant to be based on Payday or whatever, based on Ryuji's mask here, which is kind of interesting. And you've got like the different like persona transformations and whatnot. I think these were designs for either shadows or for different personas, which is really interesting. Here you can see different concepts. I think this was originally concept Carmen, and this was concept Goemon. This one was Zoro, I believe, and this one was Milady with like massive like pigtails and whatnot. So really, really interesting. I'm really glad that they showed us this. And then also this is like, I'm not quite sure which characters these are meant to be concepts of. I feel this one is meant to be Sojiro because of the coffee cup and everything. But yeah, it's just really, really interesting to see all these different designs that they just thought up of, and like some of them weren't implemented, some of them were, and then this is them trying to finalize what they were going to have the cover for the game to be. I really like this one. It's a shame this one wasn't used. I can understand why they went with this one, but this one or that one I feel like were pretty good options to pick. Obviously they finalized the one here, whatever, but I think in the end it was a really good choice. And a couple of different things, like showing the storyboards for the animatic for the opening intro, which is very nice, and a little bit more art of all of our favourite characters here. So I won't show too much more because I don't want to spoil, like I said, I don't want to spoil the entire book for you guys. And let me just quickly fix the cover here so it's sitting correctly. But anyway guys, in all honesty, I adore this book. I think it's great. If you are a massive fan of Persona and you've played the game, I would definitely pick it up. It is quite a heavy book, quite expensive book. Well, not too expensive compared to other art books that I've picked up. I would definitely say that, just depending on your preference, if you really want to read the developer's notes and the director's notes and whatnot, go for the English version. If you don't care too much about that and you just want to have like it for the art and everything, then sure, the Japanese version is better. I feel like the Japanese version also has the better cover. I just think this is more dynamic than the one they went with the English version. For some reason, the English version only has Joker, Skull, and Fox on it for some reason, and not the whole cast, which is really, really weird. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little glimpse into this book. Let me know if you want me to go over some of my other art books that I have. I have loads of art books for different films, video games, and whatnot, which I'll be happy to review and showcase for you guys. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later.